Stop thinking US export approvals actually help Nvidia. If you saw the headline US approves H200 chips for China and assumed big sales were back, you missed the critical hidden detail. Here's the counterintuitive truth most headlines won't tell you. China won't actually buy these chips. The US approved 6 major Chinese firms to purchase H200, each allowed up to 75,000 units. That sounds huge on paper. But here's the catch. 0 deliveries have been completed so far. No shipments, no finalized orders, nothing. Why this deadlock? It starts with China's aggressive push for homegrown AI chips led by Huawei. US Secretary Lutnick even admitted, China's central government has not allowed purchases. Beijing fears mass imports will weaken its growing domestic industry. Plus, there are security risks from US-designed chips and new Trump tariff rules. We're left with a silent stalemate no one is talking about. The US gives paper permission, China blocks orders, and Nvidia gets a PR win with 0 actual revenue. Stay with me. I'll break down the 3 biggest hidden secrets no outlet is reporting. I'll be honest. When I first saw US approval for Nvidia chip sales to China, I thought, great, that's a huge win for Nvidia's revenue. Then, I read the fine print. Let's break down what was actually approved. Licenses go to China's biggest tech names: Alibaba, Tencent, ByteDance, JD.com, Lenovo and Foxconn, all top AI developers. Each can buy up to 75,000 H200 chips. That's billions in revenue. And H200s are far more advanced than any domestic Chinese chip. That sounds like a massive win for Nvidia, right? Wrong. The catch no one talks about. 0 deliveries are happening right now. The Chinese government is blocking its own domestic firms from completing these purchases. For years, we heard the US was restricting sales to China. Now the US approved sales, and China is the one saying no. Old Trump-era revenue restrictions still hang over the deal too. This isn't a win for Nvidia, not even close. Nvidia is stuck in the middle with a huge approved order book and 0 actual sales. It's a stalemate. No one wins. Let me break down why China is restricting its domestic tech firms from buying foreign chips. The core goal is simple: protect and grow its own domestic chip industry. Beijing's calculation is straightforward. If Chinese tech companies keep buying cutting-edge foreign chips like Nvidia's, domestic makers will never get the revenue they need to improve. They can never catch up to global leaders if no one buys their products. Right now, China already has working domestic alternatives. Huawei designs its own AI chips that compete directly with Nvidia's. They are less advanced for now, but improve rapidly every quarter. Beijing pushes firms to buy domestic, and all revenue goes back into R&D. There is a clear short-term cost. Chinese AI companies must work with less powerful chips right now, slowing their development and international competitiveness in the near term. This is a calculated long-term bet for full semiconductor self-sufficiency, ending vulnerability to US export controls. In short, China accepts short-term pain for long-term strategic independence, and Nvidia is the biggest unintended casualty. Washington just rolled out a new trade rule targeting China, centered directly on Trump's current chip policy. All China-bound chips must first pass through US territory. After passing through, the US government collects a 25% cut of every sale. Why this roundabout route? Direct export tariffs on chips are illegal under current trade rules. This rerouting lets Washington claim its share legally. This isn't about the extra cost passed to Chinese buyers. China's biggest problem is catastrophic security risk. If every chip stops on US soil, could Washington install secret backdoors or remote kill switches that disable hardware years later? Beijing can never accept this, and will never trust any US guarantee. This new policy is a sharp double-edged sword. It gives Washington financial incentive to allow chip sales, but it gives China overwhelming reason to reject all chips entirely. The result is total stalemate. No deal can satisfy both sides. For Nvidia, the largest high-end AI chip exporter to China, the impact is devastating. It went from 95% market share to effectively 0, losing $19 billion in annual revenue. Now China's domestic makers are poised to lock in that market permanently. Right now, 3 open secrets are shifting the global chip game, and most retail investors have missed every single one of them. First, the approval versus sale trap. Last week's headline screamed, US approves new Nvidia chips for China, and retail piled in. But approval is not a purchase order. China ordered domestic firms to prioritize local chips, so no big orders will come. Second, the domestic-first reality is a 10-year national strategy, not a quick fix. It will not change. Third, the 25% fee is a double-edged sword that pleases no one. The new U.S. rule adds this steep tariff to chips routed through U.S. territory to China. Even with approval, the cost is prohibitive, and China distrusts this workaround. It leaves procurement data exposed to U.S. regulators, so most domestic firms refuse to use it. U.S. hardliners call the deal too soft, while China sees it as too risky to accept. So now I have a question for you. Do you think China will ever go back to buying large volumes of Nvidia chips? Or is the push for domestic chips already irreversible? Drop your answer in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe for more sharp analysis. I'll see you next time.